Good afternoon. Howdy, howdy. I'm sorry if I ran a few seconds late. I got to get comfortable. Time to just breathe for a couple of minutes. Okay, let me look here. I got something wonky going on. Hang on a second. Okay. First of all, thank you to each of you who showed up today. As you know, I'm in a real battle right now. And I have some updates regarding that, so stay tuned. But I wanted to thank you all for coming in because you truly are my bright spot. I'm going to start off by saying hi to some folks in chat. And I know Chris is here. Chris has been sitting here since yesterday evening. Okay, not really, huh, Chris? Good to see you. Always good to see you. Ace is here. Hi, Ace. Thanks for coming in. Well, hi, Paul. Haven't seen you in a coon's age. Hope you're doing okay. Jovita's here. Hi, Jovita. Good to see you. Charlene Grady's in. Hi, Charlene. Thanks for coming in. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Rebecca's in. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, Brian. Here's our friend Brian. Brian? I know you're getting fed up with me. Bear with me, buddy. This battle has been all-consuming, and I'm at a point now where I think I've got it under control. So I'm going to have a little bit of time to myself. I'm going to get my tail end back in the kitchen. I'm going to make the cookies and send them out. Thanks for the grace. Judy Herman's in. Hi, Judy. Hey, there's Ann. Hello, Ann. Rhonda Dotson's in. Hi, Rhonda. Bonnie Lemon's in. Hello, new friend. Paul, you're going to keep it G-rated in here, okay? Please, keep it G-rated. Shiloh Acres. Hi, Helen. How are you? Hey, there's Heather. Well, thanks for lurking. Feel free to lurk. Oh, gosh. Diamond painting with Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie. I, too, like to diamond paint. How sweet of you to say that. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Paul. I'm going to put it up here. All right. Everybody take a screenshot of that. Paul promised. Yeah, I got a strike on my channel, Paul. Barbara Castile's in. Hi. Hi. So I'm guessing everybody kind of wants to know what the hay is going on with the eminent domain and them running a bulldozer through our living room. I have an update. I've got some notes here. Like I said, it gets very extensive. Jovita and my other moderators, Paul, I got a strike because of how far south you took the chat. So I had to take some corrective actions. They were going to make the strike stand if I allowed those comments of yours to stay. So I'm asking you to keep it G-rated going forward. We do not want to lose our channel because we're not following the guidelines. You remind me. How did you? Oh, haven't been here in a while, huh? So God was very good to me. He healed me. He healed me completely. I have a nasty scar. I'm always going to have a scar, and that's okay. That's better than not having a leg to have a scar on. So I'm fine with that. The doctors were amazed at the healing. So I am up and I'm running and I'm kicking tail, and there went a bald eagle. I just caught him as he flew over. Holy cow. Thank you, Paul. And we will say no more of it. I've always loved you. You've always been welcome here. You've been with us from the beginning. So we'll speak no more of it. Hey, there's Donna. Donna's in. Hey, Donna. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so let me get on with it. The big news of it. So last night, I was told by our representative, Richmond, who I've been working with, that he met with RDOT, which is Arkansas Department of Transportation. They're over all this project. And RDOT is now scrambling. They are appointing the correct engineers and powers that be to provide clarification on the route designation. They're relooking at all 3 routes again. Our representative is doing such a great job at holding their feet to the fire to explain, and we know they can't, but to explain why this route that would go through our living room is the only feasible route available. On the surface looking at it, just to recapture in a nutshell, on the surface looking at it, this route that they're trying to ram down our throats, and it's not, guys, it is not just us. I'm talking for everybody around us. There are hundreds of people in the path of this. Many of them are owners of the thousands of acres that have been in their family for many generations. I can't sit still for that. But the route that they're proposing would blast through Poteau Mountain, which is a national landmark in a national forest. It would take out such things as pre-Civil War cemeteries, graves. Would take out, for instance, Belle Starr's cave, where she hid out. It's a national monument. They'd be taking all of that out. They would be literally blasting that mountain away. When all they would have to do is go a couple miles over to the east and use an existing corridor that they would have to redesignate to a federal highway. Okay, that said. So they have to prove why this route is the only feasible route. And they have to do an updated environmental impact study. That environmental impact study that they're basing this project on right now is from 1997. The environmental impact study is part of NEPA, which is National Environmental Policy Act review process. That's a mouthful. Anyway, the environmental impact study not only studies wildlife and migratory paths and endangered species that would be impacted, there are at least 7 here, but it also takes into consideration the impact on the public, people living here. Project complexity. This is going to be a complex project. And yes, they've been talking about doing it for decades, but they haven't been able to do it, this leg of it yet. Anyway, public involvement, federal regulations, data collection, and lawsuits. And they are forthcoming. I'm not heading up any lawsuits. And I don't know of anybody at this time who is heading up a lawsuit. I am, of course, gathering all of my data, all of my information, everything that I'm going to need in the event of. And I am ready to go on that if that need arises. So they have to do an updated environmental impact study. It's going to take a minimum of 2 years before any kind of action can be taken on this project. They got a spotlight thrown on them, and now they're having to scramble, adjust, and amend. So in that time, there are a couple of important things that are happening. The legislative fiscal session for Arkansas, it happens, it's either in April or May of 2026. This is particularly important because that tells us if they have the federal money to be able to do this, if they've been able to prove their case to push this project forward. Okay, and everybody gets to vote on it, within the legislative body, right? And then the other important thing is our governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, is up for re-election in November of 2026. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. I don't wish, I have always been a strong supporter of Governor Sanders. I believed in what she was doing. I believed that she was as Arkansas as you can get. And lately, I, along with the rest of the public, are seeing she's doing some pretty dirty deals. And we don't like it. Her constituents are not happy with her. So she may be a one and done governor. I don't know. Or she's going to about face, get herself back to her roots, get back in her daddy's footsteps. He was an amazing governor here. And turn this thing around. That would be my prayer. But we'll see what happens. It has been an amazing opportunity for me. I've gotten to meet some very interesting people. I've gotten to talk with people who are so much more knowledgeable and so much more educated on these things than I am. I'm learning as I go. I also learned very early into the process, I think it was about Wednesday of last week, that I need to rein myself in. I'm very motivated and very driven. I'm watching people around me. I'm watching my elders who have owned this land forever. And their parents before them, and their grandparents, and their great-grandparents, and their great-great-grandparents before them. And these little old people are just in tears. And that does not sit well with me. That does not sit well with me. That is a flag I will always pick up and run with. Not on my watch, Satan. Not on my watch. You're not hurting old people who have lived their whole lives working their land. So I'm working on quite a few different things in addition to this main project. My goal and my hope is to give some relief, even if temporary, give some relief to these folks, give them some comfort and give them a reason to smile. And I'm not going to talk about what those things are that I'm doing. I'm just quietly doing them. It's what we do. So it has been amazing. No doubt you've noticed. Okay, there it is, Paul. You hit it right on the head. That you just hit it right on the head. There are hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of federal funds that are going to get blown into Arkansas for this project. And we all know they say they're using that federal money for this project, but ultimately what ends up happening is through their hocus pocus magic with money, government, hello, they will reallocate those funds for other things while they will get tax money, tax revenues, road revenues off of this entire thing in perpetuity. So in perpetuity. I could never be a newscaster, guys, because I ain't got the vocabulary for it. But and we remember that Sarah was Trump's press secretary, and she did an amazing job in the White House, my opinion. And I was prepared to go all the way to the very top to request his help to rein her in. And I still may do that. I still may do that because I do think she's gotten a little big for her britches, as the old saying goes. Oh, well, hey, Reverend Dream. Thanks for coming in, friend. It's been it's as difficult as it's been an incredible blessing. And guys, big. I told you, or Joel and I told you on Friday night that we were going to go do us a Applebee's upgrade. Well, he did. He just wanted me to have some good clothes that I could go to the state capitol in and, do all the things that I got to do, looking a little less and a little more, you know what I mean? So we went and I got myself quite the few pieces. The ensembles look awesome, but we also did a little upgrade for Joel. Yeah, a cold front might have been blown in by the weather, but he's looking sharp, y'all. We found him a black crushed suede blazer. It's a Western cut, and it just looks so sharp with the American flag lapel pin, the whole thing, with a black dress shirt. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So my honey also got an upgrade. Yo, we had a blast doing it. I do not like shopping for clothes. It is one of the things, it ranks right up there with tire rotation and oil changes on the vehicle. I am not a fan. And back in the day, when I had to dress the part, I had a personal assistant who went and did all that stuff for me. So I never had to deal with that. I had a blast. It was fun. I would highly recommend, if you've never done it before, and most of you ladies in here, yeah, you've done it and you know how to do this. I'm not a girly girl. So getting me to dress up means running an iron over my best t-shirt. So I have to adjust it a little bit. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oh, thank you, Judy. Look, it's what It's what I'm called to do. Joel and I feel the same way. It's what we're called to do. We're all here to walk each other home. Oh, okay. Okay, Helen. I'll watch for your email. Yeah, Donna, it's been a lot. It's been a load. It has. But I'm staying in prayer and I'm keeping my attitude where it needs to be. And I'm keeping focused on what I need to focus with or focus on. I don't know where this journey is going to take us. I know that we're moving in the right direction. I know that I got good news yesterday evening. And I'm prayerful that we're going to continue to keep getting news. But I know that no matter what happens in this journey, we're going to be able to handle it. And that's all we can ask for. I'm giving it 100% of my best effort. And I will not quit. I don't have any quit in me. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the days when I can just take a leisurely nap during the day. That's not going to happen for a while. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Hope you're doing well. A fashion video. Oh, Ace, nobody needs to see that. But Joel and I, for the channel, we're talking about going out, maybe out by the pond or somewhere, getting decked out and taking some good pictures. He's a heck of a photographer, y'all. So we're talking about doing that. He does need some zhuzhing. And we want to start enjoying, Joel and I want to start enjoying things like going out to dinner theaters and going to actual restaurants where you have to make a reservation. A little step up from, I don't know, Applebee's. Applebee's is getting an upgrade. Paratrooper. Hey, Palmetto Paratrooper. I don't think I've ever seen you here unless you're somebody that I know under another channel, but welcome in. Thank you for coming by. I could use a few paratroopers about now. So you're very welcome here. Thank you, Helen. Now, like I said, Paul, we're just not going to talk about it anymore. You've seen it, you understand, you know. Okay, we're good. So that is what's going on here. This is pretty much taking every bit of time and effort that I have. I'm having to go through a lot of case law to figure out what our routes need to be. And as much as I am truly appreciative, and I genuinely like our state representative, there's only so much he can do, and he is not up for re-election again. This is going to be a years-long battle. So the balls that go up in the air right now, I've got to keep them juggling up in the air. I've got to keep them going. I've got to keep the momentum going. So, yeah, but going through all the case law from other states, from other federal projects that have gone through, I'm having to study all the precedents. And I have to then apply the legal precedents to the current situation to make a cohesive argument for why this route is no bueno. So that's my task. That's my job. And it's just a ton of fun, guys. I never thought that at my age I would be doing anything like this. I thought this was for younger people. Nope, I'm in it. And yeah, and I want to point out, because I see some of the comments in here, and I want to point out that this, it both is and is not a political issue. Whatever side of the aisle you're on, if you look a lot, you know, if you lean to the left and you look around at the left, you see a lot of corruption. Similarly, if you're on the right and you look around at the right, you see a lot of corruption. So there's a lot of corruption battling. And the deeper I get into politics, the dirtier I see it is. And I don't ever want to be one of those radicals who hates government. And I do not hate government. We need government to function as a society. What I strongly dislike is big government and its overreach. And this, in my opinion, is the textbook definition of overreach. Let's grab all the money and let's earmark it for this so that we can give the receipts to the federal government to justify that we need this much money, and let's just blow it up because we want the money. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Not without a big spotlight on you. And y'all know, I'll give you an example. When I was little, I would go out to my grandma and grandpa's. And my grandpa, he did all the farm stuff and, and he was having a particularly rough year with rats getting into his barn. And you're always going to have that. If you're out in the country, you're going to have that. But they were particularly bad one year. And he got smart. He took me with him one night. Always in the dark of night, that's when rats do their worst damage. But Grandpa'd go out there and he'd throw this big light on all of a sudden, and you'd see him going everywhere, and he'd just peck them off. A good night was knocking out 20 or 30 of them. A great night was 50 or more. So there were a lot of them, and he wasn't having it. So the best way to flush these things out is to let them do what they're doing under the cover of darkness. Watch and wait for them, and then throw a really big light on them. It's like scooping a fish out of a barrel. That's absolutely right, Paul. Yeah. We need government to struggle for society. Yeah. Wow. That's deep. Yeah, I agree. Or play better. And we like to talk about 4D chess. At this point in the game, I feel like I am advanced checkers. I aspire to be 4D chess. But right now I'm advanced checkers. I'm trying. I'm giving my best. I'm giving my 100%. So around about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm off of the phones. I'm done. I'm getting ready to wind down. And then I'll take about an hour to 2 hours to just decompress and clear my mind. And in that time, I'm fixing, I'm fixing supper and catching up on laundry and some domestic duties and catching up with Joel and doing all that stuff. Hey, Virginia, good to see you. And then I'm working on research for the next day. Depending on what the day before has given me to work with, is I had no idea. There are so many of these things that I had no idea about. I knew that these certain federal agencies existed. I didn't have the first clue who was what where. I didn't have the first clue exactly what they were really responsible for and how much power they had on these projects. And now I'm learning all of that. Holy cow. It's a lot. You are a copy of the 144 expansion that relocated us here to the top. Donna, that would be amazing. That would be an incredible help. What year was that? Off the top, if you remember. What is my Troy here? Hi, Blue Eyes. How's my brother? Yeah, I'm going to get back on our schedule. That was the other thing that happened. I was editing the first part of the birdhouse build to put out to y'all. That was Saturday night. I'm going through and it was getting late. So I thought, well, shoot, I'll let it export because it doesn't need anything from me. Once I hit export, it just goes to YouTube. So, okay, I'll just let it go. Got up Sunday morning early, and it was right there where it had been Saturday night. Oh, sugar plums. So I went digging through. Between Joel and I, we figured out that my video card was being overly taxed. Be a content creator, they said. It'll be fun, they said. And it is fun, but it eats a lot of resources in a computer. So we had to order another larger video card. My hard drive memory has been expanded to 10 terabyte. That's a lot. But that's a challenge. I'll take it. I'll fill it. By golly, that's what I do. Anyway, so the hard drive is supposed to be delivered either today or tomorrow. Hopefully that is going to clear up the problem and I'll be able to get these videos out to you. If not, I think what I'm going to have to do is hunt around for a new editing software. And I dislike the idea of that so very much. But if I have to, I will. And I know that's the truth. Remember how they told us that all the things that we were spouting off, especially in 2020, that were nothing but conspiracies and we were whacked out of our minds? And all of a sudden, they're the truth. That's exactly what was going on. Huh. Yeah, I'm, like I said, and I keep saying it, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Back at the beginning of March of 2023, Joel and I knew we wanted to get the heck out of that town we were living in. We wanted out of Colorado. We wanted out of that town. We wanted it in the rearview mirror and we were never looking back. But we didn't know where we were going to go. We thought we were going to go to Wyoming. We tried. In fact, we were under contract on a beautiful home. It was like 6,000 square feet on acreage. Beautiful home. We were under contract. And if it could go wrong, it went wrong. It's a good thing it did. It's a good thing we listened. That contract fell apart. We let it go. We didn't even try for it. That was in 2018. And then fast forward 2023, it was not on our radar to be moving in the next 6 or 8 months, let alone in the next month. Y'all, when God moves, he moves big time. On March 6th of 2023, he brought me up out of a dead sleep and said, get out of here, sell it, go. I'll make a place for you. That morning at, I don't know, it was around 8:30 in the morning, I get a phone call from somebody who just happened by. She was an investor, a real estate investor. She happened by, she saw our house. She tracked us down. She gave me a call. Would you guys be interested in selling? I needed to see how it would show so that I knew what I would need to do to get it ready to show. So I okayed it. By 3:45 that afternoon, we were under contract to sell it for a lot more money than we were expecting. So I hopped online and I started looking for properties. And this one kept popping up no matter what the parameters were that I was searching under. This property kept coming up. And it was absolutely nothing fancy. It's 2,500 square foot ranch house, worn down, needed a lot of work, sitting on acreage, couple of ponds, beautiful trees, and a huge shop. Okay. It was also on a well. Okay. We went under contract on it. And in a month, we were here. That fast. That fast. I'm bummed out because I had to leave my bird bath behind. And there were some things that we absolutely could not bring across the country. We didn't have the room for them. Y'all, I miss my bird bath. It was a huge. It had the fountain in the center, and it was multi-tiered, and it was just beautiful. We had it in our veteran memorial garden. It was just beautiful. I had to leave it behind, and that was gifted to me by my brother from another mother. He was killed in action, and he and I did a lot together. We were very, very, very close. And he had gifted that to me one year for my birthday, and I had to leave it behind. Oh, no. And I think she was using Adobe, but I'm not sure. I use Filmora for all of our stuff. It's super easy user interface. It's very easy to get around in for the most part. And I don't know if I'm going to sound a certain way. It comes from India. And it seems to have a lot of problems built into it. Like every time you have to do one of their mandatory updates, it never works right. And now this. I don't know. I'm going to have to shop it around. I'll probably get very serious about that, and I'll try it out. I'll do comparisons. I know content creators that do that all the time. They'll switch software, and it's like no big deal. I have no previous experience in any of this, so all of this is brand new to me. Yeah. You know what? I don't regret a thing. There is a reason we were put here. We didn't know. We didn't know. We were just being obedient, so we came. We did what we were told to do, and we came. And we felt immediately blessed, despite all the issues, despite having been lied to by the realtor, by the seller, oh my goodness sakes. Guys, if you ever want to do that, if you ever just want to buy a place outright cash, don't go through a realtor. Do not go through a realtor, but make sure that you've got boots on the ground. boots that you trust on the ground, looking at whatever it is you're going to purchase if you can't go look at it yourself. Lessons learned. So yeah, I said I didn't want any more shoes. Y'all, I saw this really pretty pair of boots. If you want to hit me with a super chat, I'm not going to turn it down because Mama needs a new pair of boots. I'm only a little kidding. I don't know. I'm just going to keep plowing forward. There's a lot, a lot I'm juggling. It's constantly up in the air and keeping it moving. And it's fun. It's keeping my brain young. That's how I'm looking at it. We are blessed. Ben's Over Acres is in. Hi. So prayerfully, I'll get the new video cards in. We'll get those installed. They're easy to install. So once we've got those installed, I'm going to try getting that video uploaded to y'all. It's cute. It's a two-parter. It's a two-part video because my dearly beloved doesn't do anything quickly. Okay, what is this? What is this, dude? My local PC professional refuses to buy any software from India. His business got hacked when he tried installing software from India. I think it is in the updates, Paul, because that's when I have all the problems. But we have such serious firewalls. Joel is IT. So we have such serious firewalls that we're relatively safe from hackers. What? By here, do you mean here, or by here, do you mean in West Virginia? Talk to me, Troy. You and I are going to get along great. I can tell. Yeah. So there we have it, guys. There's the update. I'm sorry that there's been a lull in the action coming from, well, everything here at Making It Home. Life threw me a curveball, and I've got to focus on what I got to focus on. I am going to get back in the kitchen. I am going to make those cookies. I am going to get them out to you. The coasters are going out. The gift boxes are going out. I'm going to get it done, guys. Just a little bit longer on the grace. I'm trying. I've got to focus on the people around me right now. They're depending on me to do a good job, and a good job I must do because I do not know failure. I will not accept failure. I got to do what I got to do. So there we have it. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go steal 15 minutes of just quiet. I'm going to go sit out on the deck. It's a beautiful, cool day today. I had a hoodie on this morning, y'all. My Realtree hoodie, brand new for this year. Hello, bubbies. Yeah, I got to wear it for the first time this morning. So I am going to get off here. I'm going to snag 15 minutes of quiet. I'm going to go watch some of these birds that they tell me don't exist here. Guys, don't ever let anybody with an agenda tell you what you do and do not see with your very own eyes. Tell them to hush it. I appreciate y'all for coming in. You guys brighten my days. Every time we do a live, you guys do not fail to deliver the love. We appreciate you. We thank you. We look forward to seeing you again Friday night. Hopefully between now and then we'll get a video out. Chihuahua. We love you guys. Keep looking up. Say thank you. Do that often. Keep your attitude of gratitude, especially in the storms. God bless you and keep you safe. Yeah, we'll catch you on the flip. Be good.